my name is Carly Hornberger, and I am a primate keeper here at the Smithsonian's National Zoo and Conservation Biology Institute in Washington, D.C.
Hello, I'm John Rossi. I'm a touring drummer with a passion for animal conservation. When I'm on the road, I spend as much time as possible visiting zoos, aquariums, and conservation organizations. Now, I want to share those places with you. I'll be talking to keepers, vets, conservationists, anyone who can help me in my mission of connecting my people to animals through their people. Join me on my Rossifari. Hi, hello, how are you? Welcome back to the last interview episode of Season 5 of the Rossifari podcast. Y'all, I am feeling really great to be at the end of the 5th season of the pod. So we've got this episode and then our Zoo News episode on Friday. And that will officially mark the end of 5 full years of Rossifari. 2 episodes a week, sometimes plus bonus episodes, and no time off for 5 years. What an incredible experience that I've gotten to have and that y'all have hopefully gotten to have sharing this time with me and the plethora of guests and facilities that I've had on. And we'll talk a little bit more about that on Zoo News on Friday. But as y'all know, I love to end each season of the podcast with someone that I'm extra special, super duper excited to have on, who might not be a name in the industry per se, but is someone that I've gotten to know and I love, and I think they have a great energy and just bring a lot of love and passion to their career and thus to the podcast. And that is what we are doing this week. So this guest has actually been on once before. For those of you who have been listening for a long time, you will remember the AMZAP episode that dealt with it was a group that was formed for minority zookeepers. And they were on to promote their group when they first started out. And it was 3 keepers who were at Smithsonian's National Zoo and Conservation Biology Institute. And we weren't talking about their careers. We were talking like at their jobs. We were instead talking about what their lives are like as minority keepers. And one of those guests was Carly Hornberger, who is a primate keeper at the Smithsonian. And we really bonded. We got along super well and have stayed friends and hung out and text and all the things. And over the last couple years, it has been one of my main goals to get Carly on the podcast. And a whole bunch of things happened where that just wasn't a possibility until now. We now have, and when I say we in this case, I mean Rossifari, have a great relationship with the Smithsonian, and you're going to be hearing 4 more episodes towards the beginning of next season from their 2 facilities, and I'm really excited about that, but I couldn't wait. As soon as I got this episode recorded, I knew that I needed to have Carly on as my season 5 last guest to just be the person I'm excited to share with y'all. And so that's what we're going to do. But before we do that, quick reminder to hit subscribe so that you don't miss any of these interview episodes or any of the Zoo News episodes. Make sure that you follow along on the socials at Rossifari and at Rossifari Pod on the TikTok machine. And if you'd like to support the pod, you can do so for as little as $3 a month by going to patreon.com/Rossifari. And so, yeah, with all of that said, let's get to it. Here's my interview with Carly Hornberger of the Smithsonian's National Zoo and Conservation Biology Institute.
Current currently we are sitting in Think Tank in our classroom, which is typically held for our little critters playtime, but we have taken over.
So that makes us little critters then?
Yes, absolutely.
I'll take it. I like it. And so, hi.
Hi.
It's been a minute.
Sure has.
People who have been listening for a while may remember that you were on many years ago, like 100 years ago.
Yeah, that sounds
roughly.
right.
Yeah. And we have maintained a relationship ever since.
Yeah.
And I am so excited to have you on now officially in your role here, because you were on talking about the AMZAP organization and all that stuff. But now we're here to talk about the Smithsonian National Zoo and Conservation Biology Institute, which I might occasionally call the National Zoo for reasons.
I think we're good to say that now.
Cool. And so, I'm so glad to have you here and to share you and your work and your personality with my listeners. But so go ahead and start off by talking a little bit about just like what you do here.
Sure. As a primate keeper here, we get to help take care of our gorillas, our orangutans, siamings, lemurs, swamp monkeys, and then a couple of other little critters. We have a few rats and hermit crabs that we could take care of. So as zookeeper, I feel like most people know what that's about now.
Sure. Yeah.
We do have, I think the only caveat here that's probably a little different than most zoos is that we have the O-line system, where we let our orangutans go out into the yards, and then they have this really cool ability to choose where they get to spend the night, whether if they want to stay at Ape House or down here at Think Tank. But not unfortunately, we're having some work done on the O-line towers. They're being painted and just a couple of like little maintenance things. So everybody is stuck where they are right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I want to dive more into O-line because it is something that is very cool and very unique here. And so let's just do that now. So first of all, let's talk about the orangutans that are here.
Yes.
Just tell me about who's here.
Sure. Right now we have 6 orangutans. We have Lucy, who is our oldest female. Did she just turn 52? She might have just turned 52.
That is so old. That's crazy.
I know, but she's hilarious. She's the best. She's been around the block, so we just let her do what she wants to do. She's hilarious and she's perfect. She's a fan favorite. I know everybody around here knows Lucy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then we have Bonnie, who's our second oldest. I believe she's 49, will be turning 50. I know. She's also very funny. She's actually famous too, but in a kind of different way. She actually taught herself how to whistle without the help of anybody else. So, yeah, we think that she heard a keeper whistling, like while he was cleaning or something. And then she was just like, I could do that. So it's not like, she's not like whistling a tune, but it's just like a single note, but it's really cool to hear her do it.
No, I'm curious, have you, since she did the behavior, have you put it on a cue? Is this now something that you can cue, or is it just she whistles when she whistles?
She whistles when she whistles. Usually, like, if she wants something, she busts out all the good moves. So that's usually one that comes out. But no, we haven't put it on a cue or anything because she just kind of does it whenever she wants to. She also is very good at playing the harmonica or any other musical instruments.
Amazing.
I know, she's really funny. She is also our one orangutan who walks bipedally a lot, but she was hand-reared, so we think it has something to do with that. And then we have Kiko, who is Bonnie's son, and he's currently our only adult male. Unfortunately, Kyle passed away a couple months ago. Kiko's Kiko, he does his thing. I think he has a lot going on right now with all these females and just him. But he's doing good. And then we have Iris, who's down here at Think Tank. She's hanging out solo. She has become our Think Tank queen. She loves being down here by herself. She loves her alone time. And, Iris does what Iris wants. We call her Princess Iris for a reason. And then we have Batang and her son, Red. And I'm going to be very biased, but Batang is the best because she's my primary animal.
We've had this discussion before.
Yeah.
Not on the public airways, but I was aware of that fact. Yes.
It is very biased, and that's fine. I know not a lot of other people have that feeling about Batang because she can be quite opinionated. And I just was very lucky that she was like, you know what, you're cool. And I was like, thanks. So we've had a great repertoire ever since.
So is that why Batang's your favorite then?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, she is quite funny. She can be so sweet. There have been a couple days where like I've had like really bad days, or like when I was pregnant, it was not the easiest pregnancy. So I was like really upset, and she'd just come up and like let me pet her arm and just be really sweet and very calm. I mean, that's not usually how she is, but I feel like she and I get along. We can kind of pick up on each other really well. So I think that's just why we get along a lot, really well.
No, that makes sense to me. I mean, I think that's true with all animals to some extent. The animals that I have bonded with the most are the ones who, like you said, like they can read your mood, and suddenly, like, you know, even my heart dog Lexi, when I had her, I was very badly injured at one point, and I saw a side of her that I had never seen before. She would not leave my side. She was constantly checking the wound. All these things that, like, she was a very independent dog. She was a princess as well, and liked her alone time. And when she was like a cat, when she wanted you, she would come over, but otherwise she wanted to be on a pillow, a very fluffy pillow. But when I was injured, she did not leave my side. She did not leave my body when I was laying down. And like if I got up to use the restroom or something, she followed me to, like, sat and stared at me peeing. And I'm like, oh, okay, that much. You know, when I was able to shower again and I got in the shower, I closed the shower curtain to her. I opened it to her. And in almost 15 years of life, other than those couple months, she was a very independent dog. But it's like, after that, how is she not your favorite thing? And I don't care if it's an orangutan, a dog, or even a human that does things that well. It's, that really matters.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
It's special. It's a very special thing.
That's awesome. Yeah. And then tell me about Batang's kiddo.
Red. He's red, you know. He's getting to that stage of life. He's just tearing it up. He's 9, I believe, will be 9. And acts like a 9-year-old little boy. You know, He loves playing with like Kiko and the other females. But sometimes he can be a lot. He's getting to that stage of life where he's just very interested in copulating, and what can you do?
Yeah, no, that's fair. That is fair.
Yeah.
You saying all of these numbers is really hurting my brain because like I said, we've known each other for a while, and I came down and got the experience of hanging out with these animals a little bit. I mean, obviously, connected contact, but I got to see them all and everything. And this was a couple years ago now, because all of these numbers are very wrong in my brain. I'm like, no, you're off by like 3 years.
No, I wish.
Wow, it is amazing how time passes.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Yeah. Wow. So those are the orangutans, and then talk to me about this O-line and how it works and what makes it great for the guests and for the orangutan.
Yeah, absolutely. So O-line, it's a collection of 8 towers. We numbered them. So the first one's up in the ape house yard, and then like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way down here. 8 is in the think tank yard. So basically the way it works is we let these orangutans out, and then they just get to choose. They get to cross over. The tower's about like 50 feet tall, and there is hot wire on each tower that's outside of the yard, so they can't just climb down. But I mean, this is basically what they would do in the wild, be up high, and almost all of them love it. Lucy is the only one who has never crossed. Don't know why. And she just doesn't.
Sure.
She's the only one we don't have to watch when she's outside, but everybody else we have to watch. And it's not because we're afraid they're going to fall or anything, but it's mainly because there are 3 parts where they cross over the public, and that's where they love to go to the bathroom. So we just have to clear the pathway from underneath them to make sure that no one is hit with anything. But other than that, yeah, they are free to go and do whatever they want to do when they're outside, and they know that. So whenever we have to get like someone down at think tank for whatever reason, sometimes they put up a fight and we have to lure them with grapes or juice or whatever they want and to try to get them to come back to where they need to be. But the guests love it. I mean, it's so cool. Even now, after being here for like 6-7 years, it's so cool to watch them go up there. And Kiko is the only one who really brachiates, but it's still amazing to see that. I'm sure Red's going to start doing it any day now. But it's always fun to see, too, like what antics they pull up there. You know, like with Red being who Red is, he loves to play games up there. And it's kind of horrifying to watch, but also really interesting to see them, like, try to shimmy past each other and, like, do all these crazy things up there. I remember when Red was little, when he first started crossing by himself, he would do, like, legit cartwheels up there. Horrifying. Wow. Like, he was, like, 5, and he was, like, doing these cartwheels and, like all these gymnastics, and just like, that's wild. I can't believe they can do that and not fall. Like, it just shows how impressive they are. But I love it. I mean, that's why we also need so many volunteers and stuff during the day, because they help us watch them and clean up and all that fun stuff. But yeah, it's a really cool thing to see.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I remember the first time I brought Miles here, my son, he was like, Daddy, one of the gorillas escaped. And I was like, okay, 2 things. First of all, we need to clear this up right now. That's an orangutan, and it's not orangutan, it's orangutan. Right. And second of all, no, it's not escaped. I needed to do it in that order, too.
Yeah.
That's kind of the important thing. But, yeah, and I've definitely heard other people, not like in a panic way, but just be like, whoa, is that monkey out? And I'm like, again, not a monkey, but also.
Yeah.
But it's amazing when they realize what's actually going on. You can see, like, wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And then it gives them, you know, choice and control, not just about being up in the air, but as you mentioned, think tank, for people that haven't been here, is an entirely different building. You have to walk past, you know, open areas and vendor carts and all kinds of stuff to get here. It's not even like the 2 buildings are like right next to each other at all. And so what goes into the, you know, because these are obviously very socially dynamic animals, and so how does that impact that, and what do you see from the animals? I know you mentioned that one likes to be solo down here a lot, and I think that's even worth talking about more, because I think, you know, some people are always like, oh, you know, certain animals always need to be with others, and but the individual is so more important than like what the textbook says. So talk through all of that.
I mean, they all have such different personalities, which really I think plays a lot into it. And now we have a lot more wiggle room. So the way we function is like we kind of have like 2 groups. So it's either Bonnie is solo or Lucy is solo, because Lucy and Bonnie cannot be together. Lucy likes to throw punches. So we keep them separated. So when they're all out in these big groups, you know, they all interact a little bit differently. And Kiko loves to be with Bonnie. He's like glued to her hip now that they're together, because they used to be separated, even though she's his mom. And Iris is actually Kiko's half sibling. So Kiko and Iris used to live together all the time when Kyle's with us, and it was Kyle and Bonnie together at all times. Now that Kyle's gone, our dynamics, we're still getting used to them. But for the most part, what we've found that works is, you know, Kiko, Bonnie together, and Iris, for whatever reason, has just decided she's good and she loves her alone time.
Same girl.
I mean, yeah. So she just does her thing. I mean, sometimes Batang and Red, they want to come down here, and like you'll see, this happened a lot more when Red was younger, but like Batang would be on top of the tower and like Red would be trying to climb up, and you would literally see her like kick him down or, you know, pull on him or something to keep him where she wanted to stay. But now that he's older, I think he's running the show a little bit more than Batang is. So like he bebops a lot between the 2 buildings, and then typically it's Iris who makes the decision that she's going to stay down here solo, and we just kind of roll with it. So she just hunkers down, and you know that's where she wants to be. There's 2 doors to bring orangutans into the building, and she'll usually hang out by the one that goes into the big enclosure. And that's when we know that she's done. Yeah, and she has a little bit of she actually gets laser therapy now. I don't know if you were here when she was getting laser therapy. Yeah, so she's actually getting it now twice a week she's got some issues going on with her back to help with that. And she gets a bunch of treats and stuff down here for that training. So I think that's part of the reason why she likes hanging out down here so much. She gets a lot of special treatment, and she is our little princess, so it makes a lot of sense. And then everybody else, they're pretty loosey-goosey with where they want to go and what they want to do, but that's kind of the big one. It's just Iris loves to hang out at Think Tank.
That's really cool. Now, you mentioned that part of their choice and control is that they get to use that to decide where they are going to spend the night.
Right.
I assume, and maybe I'm wrong, but I assume that they don't have access and can switch all night. I'm assuming that they still. So how does that go down? And also, do you think they understand, like, oh, it is a certain time of day, I need to be where I want to be? Or is it just kind of like wherever they are at a certain time of day, they're going to stay there?
That's kind of how it is. It's whatever time of day that we have O-line until is like how long they have. And they don't know that. But so we need someone outside watching them at all times when they're outside for the bathroom aspect of O-line. So if we only have 4 people to watch, then we can only run O-line for about like 4 hours. So every day it's a little different how long they get to be outside. So basically it's like, oh, if they're at the ape house yard, just go ahead and bring them in up here, and then like we go from there. It's very, very flexible.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. That's really neat. Mm-hmm. I mean, one of the things that I think a lot of, especially primates, need is variety,
Yeah.
And so the ability to have that and have it mixed up is very cool. I like that. And it really allows them to have a more natural social dynamic, which I think is very important.
Yes.
Now, you are a primate keeper, but before we move on to any of the other primates, you take care of rats and hermit crabs?
We do.
That's a conversation. How did that happen? You know that hermit crabs are not primates, right?
Correct.
Okay, just make sure. I don't know. So how did that happen? And how different is it? Let's try that again. How different is it going from some of the most intelligent and trainable, although I will say rats are pretty brilliant, to rodents and crabs?
So the rats and the hermit crabs live down here at Think Tank, and they just help to demonstrate, because Think Tank was brought about to really show like how the brain functions and like what does it mean to be intelligent and stuff like that. So the hermit crabs kind of help show like choice, because they change their shells and things like that, and they kind of choose when they do it, and like the reasoning why they use certain shells and things like that. So that's why they're here. And it's also kind of like showing defense mechanisms for animals. And then the rats are here because, as you're saying, they're very intelligent. Their exhibit, if you go look at it, there's lots of like obstacle courses that they can navigate. We give them a lot of puzzles. There's also a maze that we can put them in, and they can like run it and like get to the center. We had a couple of interns who were training with them, and they would train with them kind of out in the public and be like a good demonstration for people that they are extremely intelligent. I mean, they've been here since I've been here, so, but it's kind of nice going from the big guys to the little guys, because they're not trying to get you every 5 minutes. And it's just kind of peaceful. Like for the hermit crabs, we miss them. They get food like every other day, and you can give them enrichment too, and they'll use it. I think we also have tortoises. Sorry.
Everybody always forgets the tortoises.
I know.
So sad. No, that's really cool. What kind first of all, we're saying with the rats. You're trying to distract.
I'm sorry.
So what kind of rats do we have?
Norway. Okay. So we have 3.
They're big, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you take care of orangutans, but like for rats, they're like pretty large and fluffy, aren't they? Am I remembering?
They're not super fluffy, but yeah, they are quite large. We have 3 rats right now, all from the same breeder. They're named after queens, so it's Elizabeth, Victoria, and Latifah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay.
And I do want to point out that Latifah is the best rat. I don't know if she was like, I don't know if rats have like runt of the litter or not,
Right.
but she's so much smaller than her sisters. And she is, she's all white with like the pink eyes. So cute. And all she wants to do is cuddle. It's the best. And the other 2 are great too, but it's just something about Latifah being tiny. Just gotta love the little guys.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh. Okay, and then the tortoises. What kind of tortoises do you take care of?
So we have radiated tortoises. They actually live out on the Lemur Island. It's kind of a collab with RDC, with just the Reptile Discovery Center. So they actually live over there during the winter and spring, and then during the summer when it's nice and warm, we get to take them and they get to go outside and be with the lemurs.
Interesting. And that is such a great segue, because I was going to lemurs next, because Lemur Island is so unique. But I'm also curious, as we're talking about herps for a second, there are a lot of other turtles that I see at Lemur Island, and I feel like I don't necessarily know that they are collection turtles, or are they, or do they get there, or because I see like a lot of like painted and red-eared sliders and stuff. It makes me very happy as a turtle nerd. But what is the deal with those guys? I've always wondered.
So yes and no collection animals.
Okay.
I don't know when it started. They've always been there since I've been here, but from what I've been told, it's kind of like people bring pets they don't want anymore, and just
wondered.
yeah. I can't remember how many we have, because they had to drain that moat that they all live in to do some repairs. So a lot of them moved to the reptile house for a little bit, and I feel like they kept like 100, or maybe we only moved 100 back. I can't remember, but we did move some back. And yeah, it's like a combination of red-eared and yellow-bellied that we do feed. We do take care of them kind of now. If we see one that's sick, we send them up to the hospital. And there's actually 3 box turtles, too, that are roaming the island.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I love box turtles.
There's so many turtles over there.
Yeah, that's a lot of turtles. Yeah. Wow. That's fascinating. Yeah, don't do that, listeners. I know none of you will, but do not take your pets to the zoo. It does not go well. And there are lots of stories of that. And even if the zoos do take care of them and you think you're giving them a good life, that's only if the keepers find them and are able to take care of them. And sometimes they show up at a very disadvantaged position. But yeah, so don't do that. I know none of you listening would do that, but I felt the need to make the disclaimer. But that is so cool. It's one of my favorite exhibits here, because you've got an island with lemurs and turtles, and I really love turtles, and I think lemurs are cool. But so you've got lemurs on an island. What kind of lemurs do you have?
We have 2 black and white rough lemurs and then 4 ring-tailed.
And how the heck do you take care of Lemur Island? Because it's an island.
It is an island. Because it's an island and it's not covered, we do have to bring all the lemurs inside every night.
It sounds like such a chore.
It's really not that bad. They're pretty good.
Okay, well, training helps.
Yeah, training helps.
Training helps everything always. Yeah.
But it's kind of like O-line in a sense, where they get to go outside and they just do what they want to do. I mean, we give them enrichment and stuff, and we do train. We have a demo at 2 p.m. every day, weather permitting, that we go out there and we train with them. But other than that, they climb the trees, they jump the trees, they run all over the place, bother the turtles, bother the ducks that fly in.
I was going to say, they have enrichment, and their enrichment is called turtles.
Yes.
And ducks, yeah. But okay, so I need you to tell me how you transport them. Like, how do they go in and out? Is there a secret, like, is the inside of the island holding, or do you take them to the primate? Like, what? I'm baffled by this. I always assumed they just lived outside.
So there is indoor holding kind of underground, kind of like a basement. It's not quite under the island, but it's kind of like off to the side, buried. The pathway that goes behind is kind of under there.
Okay.
So yeah, you go down the steps, and then there are 2 hallways and doors that we can open, and they can just run right outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so they are coming, like, you're not, okay, that makes slightly more sense.
Yeah.
And you don't have to, like, get them over a moat, and I was picturing, like, throwing out little lemur-sized bridges.
That would be insane.
I know, that's why I was so confused.
No. We just open doors, and we do have, like, a little recall bell, and they all just kind of scamper in.
So how do you clean the island?
We don't.
That's not a bad response. In the wild, no one's there cleaning up after them. I don't think that's a problem. And plus, I'm picturing all these turtles and stuff there too. Like, that would be a nightmare.
Yeah, so we clean the moat once a year, where it gets drained and cleaned, and that's when WHS, the hospital staff, comes down and they do a good overview of all the turtles that are still living in the moat. And that's all really we do for the turtles, and feed them every day. And then other than like picking up enrichment or any like major food, like this is disgusting, but the turtles eat the lemur poop.
Sure.
And then they also eat all the scraps that get left over. And then like the rain kind of gets everything. So unless something's really disgusting, we don't really do all that much.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, what would be in place so lemur gets hurt or is very sick on the island? How do you get to the lemur?
It depends where they are. I mean, that's happened before.
Sure.
Usually we bring the rest of them in. Even then, the injured one will come in. Other times, like some of our lemurs are crate trained, so we can go out there with like a doggy crate and they're trained to go inside. I mean, worst comes to worst, we can always, as horrible as it is, like get a net or something if we need to get to it ASAP.
Sure. Now, so when you access it, then you also have access from, like, you don't have to, like, fly over the moat.
No, there is a door. Okay. Yeah, there's a human-sized door.
I've never really examined it since I, like, got into zoo stuff, but, like, I've been coming here, you know, for a very long time. Like, this was a zoo I visited regularly as a child and stuff, and I don't remember when that habitat first popped up, but, like, I remember when I first saw it, I was just like, oh, I've never, like, looked at it and been like, oh, there's the hidden door and there's the, so now that I'll go down there after this interview, I'll probably be like, oh, dummy, it's very obvious, but, you know, especially as you know, young eyes and excited eyes, plus I'm looking at lemurs and turtles, I'm not
you're not looking for the door.
Yeah. It's like the whole magician thing of just, like, you know, directing where you look. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'll be curious to look at it with this new knowledge, because I have always, that's one of those habitats that I'm just like, as I walk in, I'm like, that's fascinating. Like 3 million turtles and all these lemurs. That's really cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's talk about the other great apes that are chilling here, which I think you might be a fan of as well.
I am.
Yeah, go ahead and share some of the individual stories and stuff.
With the gorillas or the Siamangs? Not that Siamangs are great apes, but
you just answered your own question. Good job. Yeah, no, but I mean, we'll try to get Siamangs as well and everything. Okay. But like, no, the gorillas. I know you like the gorillas.
The gorillas.
Love the gorillas.
I do love the gorillas. So we have 6 in our family troop. We have Baraka, who's our silverback, Kalea, her children, Moki and Zara, and then we have Mandara and Kabibi. What can I say about them that I haven't already said? They are the best. They are so funny, all of them together, watching the interactions. Watching Moki play with Zara is the cutest thing.
And how old are they? Those two?
Zara just turned 2 in May. And Moki is turning 8, if I remember correctly. But watching the 2 of them play is super cute. Watching Zara's personality develop has also been just amazing. So when Zara was first born, I was still like 7, 8 months pregnant. Yeah, and then I obviously left for my maternity leave, and when I came back, just seeing how much she grew. And then too, Moki, because I mistook Moki for Kabibi at first. That's how big he got.
Wow.
Yeah, I expected Zara to get bigger, but seeing that, I was like, oh, that was wild. But all of them, let's see, I'm terrible at gorilla ages. Don't judge
I just
me.
want to know about the young ones.
Okay.
All the other ones
I was like, don't judge me.
No, not at all. Not at all. No, that's really cool, though. Having some young ones has to be a lot of fun.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Zara is a hoot. She's just like the sassiest little bean you've ever met. She lets you know what she wants and when she wants it. And like, it's so funny too, because like we have to learn all these little things to kind of like get her to like eat her vegetables. We have to like feed Kalea the same exact thing to feed her, and then she's like, oh, fine, I'll eat it. And like she'll eat it. But if you're giving Kalea like her fruit or something from her diet, Zara doesn't want anything else. She wants that fruit, and like she will go and try to get it from Kalea, which is hilarious because Kalea is our most dominant female, and I'm like, oh, you're not going to win that fight. Zara, I know you're her daughter, but you're not going to win it. She's not going to share. And so it's really, really funny. It's also really sweet to watch Zara interact with Mandara, who's our oldest female. Mandara, we nicknamed her Mama. She's had like 6 kids, Kabibi being one of them, and she fostered Baraka when he was little. So like watching her play with Zara is so sweet. It just makes your heart like so warm, and it's so cute. And then watching Kabibi too play with her, because Kabibi and Baraka have a breeding recommendation. Mm-hmm. Kabibi's been off birth control now for like 3 years, and it just hasn't happened, but just also totally fine. But like watching her play with Zara, you're just like, you could have your own. Make it happen. Because they are like glued to the hip a lot. Like you'll see Kabibi carrying Zara, like literally carrying Zara around, and they like play tag in the yard. It's so cute.
That's awesome. Yeah, you are one of those people. So when I came into this podcast space and this zoo space more, I did not give a rat's patoot about primates or birds. Those were the 2 species, which is really funny because the 2 interviews I'm doing today are you and then the aviary. So, but I've truly grown to love both groups of animals, mm-hmm. but it has taken meeting keepers who are passionate about them and then meeting animals, and that has finally pushed it over the top for me. And no, I really don't, but like, yeah, I would walk right past your building.
Shame.
And it was great apes. I like smaller primates. Lemurs are cool and everything, but and now I can't get enough. They're mm-hmm. so cool. Yeah, so I do owe you for being one of the people who helped me to fall in love with great apes, which is appreciated.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah, and it's fun. It's like just hearing you talk about them. It's like they're just your like friends, you know?
Yeah. I mean, yes and no. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not getting in there with them, but yeah.
No, but I mean, there is a healthy respect for them being wild animals, but there is also that connection of like being mm-hmm. primates. We're all that.
Yeah, you know? Exactly.
And I'm actually curious. So you have a child.
I do.
And before that happened, you were pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious what your experience was like, if there was anything different as you went through a pregnancy with other primates, and especially, or as a mother with other primates, especially with breeding primates. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm curious if there's been anything to that.
Yeah, not really.
Okay, well, I'm just a bad interviewer then. Fine.
I mean, there is only, I am primary trainer for Kabibi, the gorilla, and Batang, the orangutan, and there was only one incident with both of them when I was pretty far along and kind of showing that they both were like, what is that? And like wanted to touch my stomach. Both of that only happened once. Other than that, this is going to be... I only have one child. Going through pregnancy for the first time was a little rough for me, as I said. And I remember Kalea was pregnant with Zara at the time when I was pregnant with Theo. And I remember Kalea was getting close to her due date, and Kalea was a very special case because her water broke, but Zara wasn't quite born. So there were several weeks where we were doing like twice a day ultrasounds with her just to check on Zara, make sure everything was good. And like we kind of figured that she was going to be giving birth at some point. And I remember driving home and thinking about all this and like internally having like a panic attack, being like, oh, I'm going to have to push out a kid. Like, oh my God. Like, just like thinking about that, being like, uh-oh, and like full on having to freak out driving home. And then I swear to you, it was like the next day, I was off, but the next day is when Kalea gave birth to Zara. And like, I know she popped that kid out like it was no big deal. And that's one of the downfalls of being a human. I know that for a fact because they go through labor pains, but I know it is nothing like how we go through labor. And I am insanely jealous of that. Because Kalea showed me up. Like literally, we walked in, she had the baby, which was like, hey, like, you know, it was no big deal. And then I was in the hospital for a week. So, you know, it's so different. And then it was kind of fun too, coming back. Zara must have been like 3 or 4 months when I came back. And it was kind of fun watching her and Theo go through kind of the same milestones at the same time. But at the same time, it was kind of like, you know, living, work, and home at the same time, which wasn't as fun. But
that's fair.
It's also different watching somebody else mother a baby and then going home to your own. So, you know, watching Zara, though, learn how to, like, walk on her own and do all these fun little things like climb and become the little sass monster that she is has been cool. Just as watching my own son grow up has been amazing, as you know.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. I wish they were a little bit more interested when I was pregnant, but at the same time, it might have been nice that they're just like, whatever, it's just another day, because everybody else was, especially towards the end, everybody else was like, don't pick that up. Don't do that. I'm like, I can do things.
That makes sense. It's funny when you mentioned that each of them once wanted to pat your belly, because I know that is a thing in the human world, and random strangers will walk up and pat your belly, and you are like, what is happening? Do not touch me, even without pregnancy hormones, but also pregnancy hormones, like real talk, you know? And so I can, when you said that, I was like, that's kind of fascinating, because part of me thinks, and I am fully aware that I have no idea what it's like to be pregnant and never will, and I'm okay with that. But part of me thinks, just from a social dynamic, that it would be nice to have people that you love, even if they are non-human people, not being annoying about that stuff. So I can see that, and part of me can also see being like, hello, besties, pay attention, I'm growing a life here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I see both sides of it. That makes sense. And it's got to be complicated. I mean, I can't imagine what it's like to be pregnant, even without the hormones. And then the hormone, I can't imagine. All I know is that when Miles' mom went through it, I tried to be as helpful as possible, but I was very aware, and still am, that I have no idea what is going on.
It's a lot.
You can read all the books, and it doesn't matter at all.
Nope.
Yeah.
Even as the pregnant person, it doesn't matter.
Even more so, I'm sure. Yeah. No, that's interesting. Are there any of the other animals that you take care of that you want to talk about?
The Simings. I know you know they're my favorite. I love all the animals, but they are top tier. We have 4 right now. We have Ronnie, Bradley, Addie, and Gunter. Ronnie and Bradley have been here since I've been here. Addie and Gunter came to us a couple years ago. Addie came from El Paseo Zoo, I believe, and Gunter came from Richmond.
Okay.
So they're the best. They are how did I describe them to my friend the other day? They are a fun, I think, mesh of gorillas and orangutan, but in a little bundle.
Yeah, they're not big.
No.
Because I don't know that everyone listening will know what a Simang is. So, what size are we talking here?
They're each all about 20 kigs, which is, I don't know, what is that? Not quite 40 pounds, somewhere in there.
Yeah, 36.
Yeah.
Like that, yeah.
But they are 100% all arms. They have legs, obviously, but their arms are quite long, and that's what helps them to brachiate in the wild and climb and navigate their enclosures. But yeah, they're probably, I don't know, a small dog.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, small dog, big arms. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And Siamings are really, really cool. They're their own separate genus from the rest of the hylobates. So they have these air sacs. So when they sing, it inflates and it really helps them to project. And they also have webbing between their toes, just between I think it's their second and third toe. And we don't quite know why they have that webbing, but it's there.
Neat.
Mm-hmm. And then they also have the males have little hair tufts right above their bottom. So it's not quite a tail, but it looks like a tail. And they're all black. They're born black. They stay black. They are so cool. I think they are amazing. And I wish more people knew about gibbons in general because I feel like not a lot of people do. And they are just so amazing, just overall, with the singing, their little personalities. They are so cute and so funny. And I think one of my favorite facts about them is when a couple has a baby, mom has a song and dad has a song, and the kid kind of listens, and then they kind of merge those two songs to create a whole new song that they get to sing. And then it's just this fun evolution of all these different songs. And there's the Gibbon Conservation Center out in, I think, right outside LA.
Yes, right outside.
Yeah.
I did an interview there.
Yeah.
Fantastic
And
place.
I've never been. I would love to go.
You would.
I know. One day. But I know, I've seen videos. We have some other keepers who've gone out there, and they go, first thing in the morning when they all sing, and it's just this most beautiful cacophony of songs.
Yeah.
And I know I will cry when I hear it.
Yeah, no, it's stunning there. And one of the most interesting, I've done a lot of interviews now, and I retain a lot of stuff, but obviously there's a lot of stuff that slips through the cracks, The facts that really stick with me though. And one of those is when I did that interview out at out in California, and we really went into details about gibbon song. And as it was being described to me, and so in the morning when the family starts to sing, if one doesn't come in when they're supposed to, the others will repeat until that song comes in. And I was like, oh, that's called a vamp. We do that in professional, I'm a professional musician, and that's what we do. If your singer forgets to come in, you do what's called a vamp. And as we were talking about different things, a lot of gibbon song conforms to what we use as music theory, harmony theory, rhythm theory, things like vamps. As we had this conversation, we were blowing each other away because I had the musical terms for what was happening, but I had no clue that they were that musically involved. I knew they sang, I knew it was a thing. I even knew the mom, father, create the own kid song thing. But no, it's all based on harmony. It's all based, you can even break it down to keys, musical keys and stuff. And it is fascinating.
It is. There was a really cool article that came out not too long ago about scientists who were studying wild gibbon calls. And
wow.
they
send me that if you.
Yeah, I'll have to find it. But yeah, it was kind of talked exactly about that, how incredible these songs are, and how most people just probably don't even realize that. Mm-hmm. So unless you don't know music or anything like that, you would have no idea.
Even as a musician, I never caught it because you don't hear them that much to sit and analyze it, and it's not I'm thinking oh, that dad's riffing in G or whatever, I would with the guitarist, but I'm oh, turns out that dad's riffing in G. Okay, that's very cool. Yeah, it's I don't think there are very few things that have stuck with me as much as that with this podcast, because I was just wow. That's the natural world matching what we do. And yeah, we're part of the natural world, but it just doesn't, it's just amazing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, awesome. Is there anything else you want to share?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then we have two left. Is there a conservation organization you'd like to give a shout out to?
The Gibbon Conservation Center.
I didn't see that one coming at all.
Who knew?
Wow.
I would love to come visit you one day. One day.
And then, by the way, when you drive out there, there's nothing more insane. It's the canyons outside of LA.
Yeah.
But like you're driving and you're in LA. And
Right.
then all of a sudden, you take an exit from a freeway that at every time of day has 80 million cars on it.
The 5 or the 4 or 5, do you
I don't
remember?
at this point, but it was one of those. So,
Yeah.
And you get off and the exit, I will never forget it. You go down this exit and it's like a hill and there's like a tiny gas station that looks like it's from the 40s. And then you turn left and there's nothing. It is a paved road and there are canyons above you, so you can't even see the highway anymore. And you drive out and eventually you hit like an unpaved road and that's what takes you. And you cannot believe that LA is like, if there wasn't traffic, you could be there in like 15 minutes. Like one of the biggest cities in our country. And it's just peaceful and calm and desert and then gibbons.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's trippy as get out. Like I was literally like, it's not even like I felt like I was lost. I felt like it was impossible for me. Like this place that I was, even before getting to the center, could not exist. These canyons could not exist 5 miles outside of LA. This is not possible,
Well, that's the crazy thing about California and LA. Like living out there for 5 years or however long, like you turn the corner and boom, you're somewhere else. And it's a very different world out there.
Really is, yeah. Cool. And then it is time.
It's time now, don't you know? We've come to the end of the show. But there's one tale left to go. You're gonna laugh and say, oh no. It's time for the Rossifari poop story.
I have so many. Well, speaking about the O-line, Kiko is the worst pooper out on the O-line. I swear to you, he saves it for keepers. But for whatever reason, because, it's 50 feet, they're up 50 feet in the air, and then they go to the bathroom, and it's probably going as fast as a bullet as it comes down. And then when it hits the pavement, and it all over, and you're out there with a bucket and a shovel trying to scrape that up, you don't like yourself.
Yeah, no, that's fair. When you talked about poop falling, I'm just picturing like poop hitting the ground. But that's like ballistic at that point.
Yeah.
That thing's gonna, wow.
So like when the little kids are out, especially during the summer, and they're doing O-line, and you're like, oh, you have to get out from underneath them. Please don't stand under there. They might go to the bathroom on you. And the kids are like, oh, no, it's fine. I want to get hit. I'm like, it's going to hurt. Like, that's going to hurt. I don't know the physics behind it, but I know it's going to hurt.
That's really funny. Yeah, no, I did not think it. Because I will admit, I've been pooped on by multiple animals, and I had a red panda poop on me from a tree once, and I took it as a badge of pride, My favorite animal pooped on me. And I was thinking, I was like, yeah, actually, I'm kind of annoyed that I've never been Peter pooped on from the O-line. But no, not if it's going to hurt.
I wouldn't want to. I feel like that would really hurt. Because what's the thing about like dropping a penny off the... Yeah, I feel like it's the same idea. Like it's really going to hurt you.
Yeah.
That's...
Mass times acceleration and gravity and all the things.
All the things.
All the things I learned in 11th grade and promptly forgot.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, it is so nice to have finally had you on here for your actual zoo. I'm so glad we made this happen.
Finally.
Yay. Awesome. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, well, there you have it. An episode from the Smithsonian's National Zoo and Conservation Biology Institute featuring the one and only Carly Hornberger, who honestly had so much to say that we could have done a whole second episode right after that. I'm sure she'll be back on at some point, and I'm so excited to have shared that energy and knowledge and passion with y'all. So, this is it. This is the last guest for season 5. I hope y'all have enjoyed what has been a wild season. So many new facilities, so many wonderful people. Still, we'll be back here on Friday for our last Zoo News of the season. And then it's, bravely on to season 6. And I already know that you like the first guest of season 6. I'll just leave it at that for now. But before I go, I do want to take a moment to say thank you to my my patrons, especially my Red Panda level patrons, Dr. Laura Schenk, Dr. Stephen Williamson, Barbara Bennett, Jenny Owens, Melissa Reed, Carrie Kirkpatrick, John Lewis, also here for stickers, and Kevin Williams. And I'd like to remind y'all that you can go to patreon.com/Rossifari to support the pod. So yeah, we'll be back here on Friday to wrap up the season. And until then, I guess really the only thing that I have to say is, something about, the word credits backwards being Steiderk.
The Rossifari podcast is produced, hosted, and engineered by John Rossi. Editing and fact-checking by John and Dr. Zoe Rossi. Our theme song is Sevens by Nathan Burke, performed by Nathan and John. Interrupting John theme and additional voices by Taylor Isaac Gray. You can reach John directly on Instagram and Facebook at Rossifari or by email at rossifaripod@gmail.com. Rossifari is part of the Daydreamer Media Network. Now, stop listening to me and go visit a zoo.
My name's Carly Hornberger. I am a primate keeper here at the Smithsonian National Zoo.
Super sorry to interrupt. Carly, can I have you do the name of the...
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay, I know.
The Smithsonian's National Conservation.
National Zoo.
Oh, my goodness. It's so long.
I'm leaving all of this in.
No, it's good.